Hi guys, I'm really sorry for the delay. It's been a while, I know. Disassembling, removing all of the fiber panels, body panels. Yeah, this is how it looked. The underside challenge was hiding all of these wirings and all and rearranging these electronic parts. This is the exhaust gas recirculation wall, I guess, and the rest of the parts. So that was a major hurdle that I had to manage. I started with basic sketching first. The customer wanted a GT, Continental GT tank from 535 Royal Enfield. Yeah, so keeping that in mind, I started doing sketches and all, and yeah, made few concepts. I mean, how vehicle would look from side. We even made a CAD model. You can see that orange colored wireframe design that shows the tank, and that cylinder brown colored inside is the area for that huge fuel tank. Huge fuel pump. It also has a float to show that fuel level on your speedometer. So because of that, that is that big, and the float rotates. It has a arm. I mean, and it extends out of that fuel pump. I don't know, 7-8 centimeters. So yeah, a lot of area is required for that fuel pump. This is the tank shown separately. It's a wireframe model, so it is a little bit hard to uh, get to. This is the left side actually, and I made a thermocol model just to understand the underside tunnel of that tank and the area for that fuel pump. So yeah, there was also a frame mock-up in that CAD. Talk about that in the frame video. So this is a thermocol model, and it is made to look like that Continental GT fuel tank. Not exactly same, but just to have an idea of how big the tank would be. I mean, because of the fuel pump, the under tunnel. Yeah, you can see how the frame is. I had to provide the front mountings. I did that like the conventional fuel tanks. I mean, I'll show that in the coming moments. Yeah, so it fits and all, and it served the purpose. The thermocol model. I mean, how the underside of the tank would be. You can see from here the clearances are good. It fits, and so I started with making the tunnel. So I divided the tunnel into three parts. I made paper cutouts matching closely to the tunnel area, and yeah, this was the first part that was supposed to have that mountings, C channels type that would fit on those rubber mounts. By the way, the rubber mounts are from Pulsar, and that is how it is supposed to fit there. You can see I had to make a C-shaped bracket that would sit on those rubber uh, pads. So yeah, half-inch steel pipe on either side. It was on right side. I mounted that onto that exhaust gas recirculation wall, I guess. It recirculates the hot gases from the combustion chamber from the engine, I guess, into back to the airbox. Preheating, I guess, increased efficiency. Well, not my forte. So yeah, one on the left side, one on the right side. Initially, it looks asymmetric. Yeah, I know. I couldn't think of it that way. Uh, Only when I made the model and all, and then I came to know that yeah, this is not going to work out, and this is not how it is supposed to be. So I changed it, made it in line with the one on the right side. Later you can see in the coming moments. Yeah, and this is the bracket. The welding is not that good, I know. This is me welding for the first time, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I made sure that it serves the purpose. I mean, there was no compromise with the durability and all. The bracket, that is the exhaust gas recirculation wall. Yeah, this is the updated in line with the right side. It is painted and all, and the rubbers left and right. This is a glitch actually. This part is supposed to play before the earlier part. Sorry for that. So this is how it is supposed to sit, the front piece of the under tunnel, and these are the brackets, the C brackets that I was talking about. I removed these from the Continental GT tank that I'm going to show you in some time. And yeah, the float level, just to check whether it is in sync with the frame level. Yeah, that is how the under tunnel is looks. 3 pieces joined together, and front mounting also. We received the tank. I ordered it from a spare part dealer from Delhi, and this is the tank. We got it in a really cheap price actually. If you can see, the Royal Enfield parts are really pricey, especially for these new models. So we got it from that Delhi guy, and it was dented and all, so we got it for really cheap price. Here we removed the inner skin and all, since that was not useful to us. First of all, it was not fitting to that frame, and there was no space for this for that humongous fuel pump that we have, float attached to it. Also, we wanted to keep the tank caps from the stock vehicle in order to have a single key for all of the locks. So I removed that. Now you can see this from the underside. Taking trials on the frame. I had to extend it, of course, because of that huge fuel pump, but I extended it too much, so I'm gonna have to reduce it again. I did that too. I could have shortened this part. I'm sorry for that. I removed a piece from that stock tank where the fuel pump sits onto. This is that piece. It is going to be welded from underside of this tank. That is the stock tank, yes. And I reduced it. Yeah, now it looks good. It is relevant, and it also has the space for that fuel pump. You can tilt your screens for this. I'm really sorry. I am not that professional into this, so I am not aware of the angles and all. I just had my phone in my hand and I just started shooting videos. I put a piece there in order to hold the tank, 2 pieces firmly. And this is now we are starting with the fuel tank cap actually. So this part I have to remove from the stock tank, and going to fit it into my new tank. But there is a catch. There is a rubber damper, you can say, that also supports the fiber fake tank that fits onto this metal tank. So now I don't want that, because it is going to look ugly, first of all, and it would be hard to match with the new tank. So I had to make, and I did a circular piece like a cylinder with a really small height that is going to fit in flush with that outer ring of that fuel lock, the silver colored ring. So in here it is welded and all. I'm really sorry again, I don't have any photos or videos. Here you can see the tank fits nicely with the frame, and there is a uniform clearance with the shock absorber. It looks good. Yeah, that is the cutout that I was talking about before, and I had to add a separate piece, this one, for the petrol pump that tap to into. There was no room before. Here I am matching that inner skin with the outer skin, so closing in the tank. The tank almost took 3 months, I guess. I don't know, maybe 4 months. So, and the bike took a month more than that. So this is the crown piece of that vehicle, you can say. It is completely hand built except for the outer shell that I borrowed from that Royal Enfield tank. Yeah, I fixed it and I again removed it and then again I fixed it. I did that for almost 5 to 6 times. I used to tag weld these two pieces together, or maybe I don't know, any pieces with my electric welder that I have. I couldn't do much of welding with that because it is going to melt that thin sheet metal. It will melt that. So I just used to put tag welds and go to Wasim Bhai, a welder, every single time. Sometimes I had to make 5, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, more than that maybe, trips to him. So his shop, yeah. So here I am making tag welds again, and that is why one of the reasons that it took almost 3 to 4 months to finish that tank. It was hard fixing the upper shell and the under tunnel together. This is the cap that locks the fuel pump in its position. You can see the size of that cap. Yeah, I had to remove some more material for that fuel pump to fit in. Here you can see how the under tunnel is really asymmetric for that huge fuel pump and that fuel gauge attached to it, float attached to it. So yeah, this is that fuel pump, and that is that cap removed from that stock tank on which the fuel pump is going to get mounted. The challenge was, first of all, assembly, and after that, room for that float. So there is plenty room for that. Still I had to try and see whether it moves freely in that area. There is enough space for that float to move in that area. And there is, yeah. Here now I'm closing the underside with these patches. And there are a lot of patches from underside. I know it is not good maybe, and you might be wondering how I dealt with the leakages and the rusting. More on that on the next video, the part 2 of this tank video, second part. So yeah, you can see how this fits. All of these are handmade, hand bent. So yeah, you can see I wanted to add more about this shaping, beating, and all that, but this video is almost of 20 minutes, so I removed all of that part and tried to accommodate as little and relevant that I can. Only relevant parts. Yeah, you can see it fits. This is the second part. Some 4 or 5 pieces I had to make. You can see all of them lying on that table. So yeah, a lot of beating and hand shaping, using whatever I could, the table, the hammer, or pliers and all. So currently I'm working on another project, and on that vehicle I'm making a fuel tank out of fiberglass. So I'll be sharing about, more details about that project also, maybe after this video, or maybe in the second part. So yeah, another patch. I didn't have a vise, so I'm holding those metal pieces in between that table. I only had a few hand tools, an angle grinder, a drill machine, and a welding machine, so that's all I have. And this is the backyard of my house, so this is my workshop. It would have been easier if I had more tools and all, but yeah, maybe in the future. A lot of beating, lot of shaping, reshaping, arranging, rearranging, and all. The next video would have more about finishing up the tank, leak tests, and the vinyls and all, and the mountings also, the rear specifically. Here you can see all of the patches are tag welded together, and now just had to, I mean, finish it up with the final welding. The drain pipes coming out on each side. This is a Wasim bhai, dear Wasim bhai. Thank you so much, Wasim bhai. Thank you so much for being so patient with me. This guy helped me a lot, you know. I'll be sharing his contact details and all, so you can go to him. Yeah, so tank all done, mounted onto the frame, and you can see the level, the position of the tank and all, and it's fitting level with the frame and all. Yeah, the gap with the shock absorber was a major issue. Tank finished from underside, clearances with the wall. Yep, part 2 coming next week. Thank you guys, thank you so much.